two.
Okay, we're back. Good morning, Coaching Over Coffee. We got some new members of the team with us today. We're gonna go around, they're gonna introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their fitness history, some facts that somebody else may not know. So, Dawn, take it away.
All right, so this is take two.
Yep.
So
The quicker version.
The quicker
Yeah.
version. I'm Dawn Solofsky. I have been a member of the gym since I think 2015. I am an indoor cycling instructor for the past 16 years. I also am an employee benefits consultant as my day job. And something that some people may not know about me is that pre-COVID, I called into the Howard Stern show.
I have a question.
And I got
for you.
on. Yes.
What is the day job as opposed to like, is there a night job?
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay, good.
Can you talk about that too?
No. Next podcast.
Okay. Danielle, you're up.
My name is Danielle Munn, and I am a spinning instructor. I've been a spinning instructor for about 8 years, mostly at YMCAs and different gyms, but I'm also a registered dietitian, and I've worked kind of all over the place consulting. I have my own private practice, but I'm excited to be here and meet you guys. I'm brand new to the gym. A fun fact about me: as a kid, I was like a wicked tomboy, and I loved playing with like worms and going fishing. And to this day, like I still take like the hook out of the fish for like most of my friends and husband and anyone I go fishing with. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
That does surprise me.
yeah.
I'm Heather, and I'm here for the yoga game.
Let's go.
Yeah. I've been teaching yoga about 7-8 years, taking for longer, so I get a little confused. My day job is changing, but I'm currently full-time at the Y, and something some folks might not know about me. Well, I was in the Air Force after
Okay.
high school, but more specifically, during basic training, I was in the band,
Okay. What did you play?
the drums.
Drumline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Can
I
you
got
give me a
on some,
little something here? Like,
Yeah, maybe. I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'm hearing it in my head.
Josh, fun fact some people don't know about you.
Oh, jeez, I was not expecting
He's a
that.
sound technician.
Fun fact, I'm kind of a recluse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't think that's a fun fact.
Well, I mean, you see me out on the gym floor, obviously I'm trying to put on a performance to get some energy from all clients, all members. So then outside of the gym, curtains shut, lights off, nothing.
Nothing.
Darkness.
Okay. Cool.
Ryan, fun fact about you.
I love the pain of tattoos. That was a quick one.
Oh.
I actually don't mind it. Like I feel like it
You don't
is.
mind it or you love it?
Depends on where it is. There's
That's fair. Fair play.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Okay. Not that I've had a place where, like, it would be a little bit more non-inviting.
Uninviting.
I would say like
Don't go
your
there.
elbow is not a very
Right.
fun
The
space.
top of your foot.
Sure, never. I mean, never would have that. Let's talk about you girls. Okay. The show's not about
so well behaved right now.
not about Josh or I. How did you get into cycling yoga? Like, what was the thought process? You took it, or hey, I really enjoyed it. I like the energy from people. Let's kind of like ping pong the table around there.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, good. You go.
Started years ago. I was going down to LA Boxing in Albany, taking boxing 3 days a week. It was pre-child,
Sure.
very into fitness, and then started taking cycling classes at Global Fitness, which is now the Planet Fitness, years and years and years ago. And they needed an instructor, so I went to like an 8-hour course and got my certification.
Can we talk about those courses? Because I've taken one too, the cycling. You okay?
Yeah, it was a tickle.
It's okay. I'm here for you.
I just touched
Yeah.
him again.
Yeah. I hated the certification because my ass hurt for like
You were
7
on the
days
bike.
after.
Yeah, you're on the bike.
3 hours pedaling.
Exactly.
And I got done. I was like, I'm never going to teach this class
Yeah.
ever once in my
That's
life.
just
Yeah.
new bike buttons.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
weren't conditioned for
No.
it. It's okay.
I like the term bike buns.
Yeah.
I didn't have a pad or anything like
Take
that.
class and your buns get broken in. Right,
They're
girls?
both-
I think we
my
could make
buns
a
are
flyer
steel.
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Break your buns in.
Mm-hmm. Just
Okay.
takes like a week. Just
That's
like
it.
a week.
Just like working out.
Yeah, a couple classes and you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So you took it, loved it, hated it.
Loved it, and then here I am.
16
And
years later.
16 years later.
Cool. How about you,
I
Danielle?
have a very different experience than that. So my first spin class I took with my mom, and I was in high school, and we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. And this lady was intense. It was at a local gym in the Cobleskill area, and we despised it. Literally despised it. And I'm actually so glad that we disliked it so much, because I can tell people when they come to their first class and they're like, this is terrible.
Right.
Why would I ever do this? That it just gets so much better. Like even initially afterwards, I'm like, maybe that wasn't so bad. Maybe it was like good that it was that bad, because your body just doesn't usually do the things that you're doing in there, like
Yeah.
standing up especially. But yeah, I really did not like my first spin class. And then I'm like, I only took a few classes after that, and then I was like, I think I'm gonna get certified. I think I want to do
That's
this.
awesome.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Should I talk about spin or yoga?
You can talk about either. I think
Okay.
one maybe would be better.
Yoga?
Yeah, for time
Since
purposes.
That's what I'm here for.
Sure. Okay.
I found yoga because I got injured. I blew out my calf muscle. I was looking at Don because I wasn't sure if we were acquainted by then, but I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So I was very physical, going to the gym, working out hard, and then, yeah, I had this injury. So I did what I could at home, like upper body wise, and then found a couple of yogis online that I started to follow, and I was like, whoa, yoga's like not exactly what I thought it was. So
What did you think it was? What was the perception?
the perception was stretching and like just seated postures, and so I make it a little bit more than
Yeah.
that, and I fell in love with it. So still incorporating everything else that I love, but yoga too.
I want to share with my first yoga experience.
I'm ready for
It was. Do you might know the story?
I don't know.
Why did you giggle?
I was waiting for the anticipation.
So you know how you said like, hey, you took it, you hated it. I almost wasn't allowed to go back.
Did you get kicked out of the class?
I got asked to leave.
It happens.
So again, I was attending a class at a local establishment, and it was like a late night class. There was candles and like soothing music, and one of the poses was my legs had to go over my head, and
What were you wearing? Brad?
I was with shorts. Yeah, I mean I didn't have spandex or anything
The
like
tie
that.
was important.
Yeah, it
Yoga.
was. But that wasn't the reason why. I was with my mom, and if you guys
I know your
ever
mom.
heard my mom laugh, it's probably like one of the worst cackling noises that you'd
She's
ever hear.
precious.
Sure. But I looked over to her, and there's a room full of people, candles, and I looked over and I go, I have to fart. And I don't know if I did. I don't know if I didn't. I think that part of the story is irrelevant.
That's
But
awesome.
she started hysterically laughing. Can't get her to stop. The teacher looked at us and was like, out the door. And
Really?
that was the last yoga class that I went to professionally.
Never
until,
went back.
Yeah, until I was an adult. Yeah.
Did people hear it?
I did not actually make a flatulence. I did.
There was remnants. in
No,
other
there was
senses?
no, there was just the thought or the possibility of it. Because
I think it's a natural thing, though, if you do.
sure, I mean,
I mean,
people were
it's
people were
natural
nervous
when
that there
you're-
might have been a tugboat in the class, but that was not the case. Okay.
Most of what happens in that area of yoga is like you don't hear it, you
Don't
smell
pay
it,
attention
you
to it.
Smell it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that kind of happens.
But I've heard it as well as the instructor, and you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to embarrass the person,
No.
but you know exactly who it is. You know exactly who did it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
and if they've come with friends or spouses, they're like,
Yeah.
That's something I run into with some clients. Just maybe mid repetition of an exercise, you hear a little thing. I just keep
Yeah.
going. I don't
yeah.
pay any
I've
mind
never
to it.
done that before during a group exercise class. This is all foreign to me.
Hygienic.
We're adding value to everybody's morning today.
We're
Good.
basically letting people know it's okay. Just be yourself. Be
Yeah.
comfortable. Let
a
your
human
body.
experience.
Sure.
Let your body
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
Flow.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's add more value. Okay.
Please.
Where do you guys think the industry has come as far as cycling, as far as yoga goes? How has that transitioned or played a role more prevalent in people's lives the last 16 years, last 8 years, 10 years, whatever? How do you think it's grown or, faltered? What do you guys think?
Me personally, I think it's grown as not so much of just exercising to be buff, but mentally and emotionally, it's something that people need. I know I need it.
Right?
Just mentally and emotionally to let the day job go, let the, issues you may be having at home, family, it's your time.
Yeah.
That exercise is your time for kind of
Nothing
let
else
things
matters.
go. Nothing else matters. And you leave there feeling, okay, this is good.
Yeah. Good way to start your day, end your day. Yeah. How about you?
I think about all of the companies that have started with cycling in the past however many years, like Peloton. Now it's
Yeah.
more, I feel like it's more accessible. People are talking about cycling more. People are doing it more. You can do it out of your house. But just, I feel like there was a barrier before, and maybe people had never tried it in any regard, and it was
Yeah.
just this, scary thing that, only super fit people do. But
Yeah.
Right.
I like that it's not like that as much anymore. So.
How about yoga?
Well, sort of piggybacking with accessibility, when I think about the pandemic, just the online, access, basically. Because especially with yoga, your local town might not have a studio, so you can get free stuff on YouTube, check it out if you didn't know.
And I think too what you guys said, and I know the three of you guys have used fitness or yoga in some capacity or whatever to deal with injuries, right? So let's talk about that quick. You guys have all had injuries. How has fitness been taken for granted, number one, in some capacity, or the value of it, especially when it's taken away from you? What do you guys think about that? Why did you guys, so a lot of people get injured, and then what do? They sit around.
They sit
You guys,
around.
I think, were really proactive when it comes to recovery. Why do you think that is? Or how did you guys allow fitness to kind of help you in that regards?
Want me to change it up and go first?
Sure, sounds great.
For me, it allowed me to want to share something that made me successful. So, I wasn't a yoga instructor when I got injured, but yoga helped with the recovery. So I wanted to share that with others.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a quick game for them. So
I think that's the thing, is a quick game.
Yeah.
Fall into a hole and woe is me.
yes.
Yeah.
And I had those moments.
Yeah.
Mentally for sure.
It's hard
It was
not
tough.
to.
We
Yeah.
all do.
Yep.
For sure. So last August, it's almost been a year, I was playing pickup basketball with my family. I'd gone for a long run the day before. I had just transitioned out of a full-time position to part-time and was loving all this activity and extra time that I had. And I completely, fully ruptured my Achilles tendon, which I didn't even know that tendon could just snap in that way. I'd never really seen, I guess I've heard of people doing it, but now I know it's super common. I go to the farmer's market and people will look at my scar and be like, oh, I did that too. So it's a lot more common than I thought it was, but that was just so eye-opening because if you know anything about that surgery, that process, you have a 14-day window to get it repaired. My surgeon didn't do it until 13 days, so I sat around for 13 days doing absolutely nothing. I had a wedding. I was in a wedding and had to basically be in a wheelchair for that. And then it's 6 weeks after that you were basically not walking, not doing anything. So we talked about chair yoga. Just mental health wise, I started reading a lot of books, and then, trusted the process as far as starting PT and really had to learn how to walk again, learn how to do all of these basic everyday things. And I live in a raised ranch, so you walk in my house and you either walk upstairs or downstairs. So there were just so many barriers to that, yeah, I feel like the growth the past year has been pretty extreme, but we made it.
Yeah.
That's
We're good.
awesome. Oh, me. I was actually thinking, no, I've had injuries. Right now I kind of have a wonky ankle. I've twisted my ankle.
Diagnosable as wonky. That's what I thought. Yep.
That's
Doctor
not
said
what
it in his
Yeah.
note.
Doctor
Yeah.
said it. It's so true.
Did he put the quotes?
Yeah. It's wonky. But no, I've had knee injuries, and I've also had individuals in my cycling classes who had knee replacements. and after 3 weeks came back to my spin class, not to like go full at it, but just to have that
Blood flow, range
that
of motion.
blood flow, the range of motion, and it's low impact,
Yeah.
so it's not stressing on your joints, and it's a great way to like build your strength and endurance.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Sure, go.
Or, well, maybe not a question. Danielle, in your first introduction sentence, you said something at the end, and I'm going to try to put it in quotations and paraphrase the best I can. But you said, was it so hard that it sucked, or should it be this way? Do you remember that? Your first cycling class, you were
Yeah.
like, this was awful. But
Right.
you were like, maybe that's actually a good thing.
Right.
Can you guys interpret that? Because I know a lot of people are like, okay, this is really hard. Maybe it's not for me, and they'll just give up there. Some people be like, you know what? No, it is hard, but I kind of want to push through. What do you guys think of that as health and wellness coaches, fitness coaches?
I think that's a really good question, because thinking back, I'm trying to remember if the instructor was good about
Motivating or
but not even
Modifying.
modifying more so, making sure, since it was our first class, that if she's calling out specific parameters, it's okay that we're not
Right.
meeting those.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good point, and I honestly can't remember. I feel like I blacked out for it, but I don't remember if that happened or not. But I think that's an important thing to do as an instructor, is making sure that you know your population.
Absolutely.
Like, everyone is at different levels. That's the beauty of cycling, is that you give general guidelines, but it's each person's ride, and I think it's really great to remind people of that every single day.
That's my common spiel: is this is your ride. You do what feels comfortable for you, but try to push yourself outside of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And be honest with yourself.
Just because I may be at one level doesn't mean you have to be at that level
Sure.
yet. You know what I mean? But it's a good way to really build up that endurance, build up that strength, and then they can take that into other aspects of their fitness.
I just think everyday life too is
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Is taking that new job on. I know that was a thing that we struggled with back in the day. Also, you had plantar fasciitis. And talk about that
PFAS.
too. Yeah.
It's a real diagnosis.
No, I know. But
Josh,
doctor
it's
also
real.
just wrote PFAS.
Yeah. Dawn, you have a list of questions for everybody too. I think she came prepared.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, you told me to be prepared, so I
I
wanted
didn't
to
say be prepared. We're going to ask questions. You guys can ask us questions too. My watch says I'm being active.
I asked Josh one before we started, want me to pop
Yeah.
in?
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you guys might miss your old space, or do you at all?
Go ahead.
You first, you're on the table.
No, you're going to go in the middle, then we'll come this way.
Okay.
She asked you first.
I
Alright,
did.
fair,
Yeah.
fair. I said I was a little indifferent. I guess I could say I had the luxury of kind of switching environments, where I'm not necessarily switching jobs, but I get to come into new doors every day. So I think I'm very lucky in that aspect. So I'm a little indifferent because I don't mind it, but it is a change that I'm going to have to get a little bit accustomed to. So that's kind of it, just kind of weaving through.
Staying flexible with it?
Yeah.
Cool.
But you're being positive and
Of course.
I don't tie any emotion to it all. There's no nostalgia. It's not like, I think I would have more memories of a house than of a business.
Okay.
Because I think your house is your safe space. So when you go home, it's like that space that you can just unwind, be yourself, lay on the couch and watch TV. I think there was a lot of memories created, and I've had this is my third gym now. Call it chapter 1, 2, 3, whatever. So I don't think necessarily emotion. I get more excited about possibilities
That's awesome.
to add different things, to become more well-rounded, to help more people. The weird thing about the secret law of attraction for me is I did think about something like this where I'm adding different facets of fitness to accommodate more people. So I think I was more excited about
Awesome.
that as anything else.
Sweet. We're here for it.
Yeah,
I'm
Thank
really
you.
excited
Us
too.
too.
yeah. Okay.
I can't sleep at night lately.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Look at the stand and
I know.
everything.
Oh my God,
We
yeah.
gotta up our game, Danielle.
I know.
I
That's on
am
the floor.
super prepared. So, what sport would you compete in if you were in the Olympics? Danielle, I'll hit you first.
Whoa.
Ooh, let's
Not
guess for each other.
basketball.
Let's guess for each
Not
other.
basketball.
Let's guess for each other.
Let's guess for each other.
Let's
Okay.
guess for each other.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so are we guessing for me?
I'm gonna guess for you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Did I mess it up?
No, go ahead. I'm just listening.
Running, sprinting
Okay.
with a healthy Achilles.
Thank you. 2, ideally.
I'll say beach volleyball.
For yourself?
No,
For me.
I say because of
For her.
a basketball love.
Yeah.
If you're not playing basketball, the agility of volleyball, I think, or tennis are two of the sports that are so underrated athletically.
Okay.
You watch 2-on-2 beach volleyball
Oh, I love
or
it.
1-on-1 tennis.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
agility that these
You
human
don't
beings
stop.
have.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
Or if you do, you're pivoting somewhere
But think
else.
about you're in the sand. You have an unstable surface.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could probably put in a beach volleyball
Court
in the
here?
back court.
I
Yeah.
think that's next.
We'll
I'm
do
just
that, yeah.
saying, let's
I
think
think
about
that's
We got a
that.
lot of
We'll
courts
table,
to add.
listen, we'll table that and talk about that next time.
Sure. Pickleball.
Heather?
Oh,
We're guessing for
No,
Heather.
Oh,
what about you? Are you gonna guess for Danielle though?
oh no, I was just, no, I'm,
Oh, okay.
I'm just the question taker. I'm just the question
All right, so you
asker.
guys are guessing for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Archery.
Arch.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just get it, I don't know.
Josh, you go.
What's the one they do cross country skiing, pellet shooting too? If you guys know what.
What?
Yes, I do
Yeah.
know, the winter sport.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a Winter
yeah.
Olympic sport.
Mhm.
I don't know the name of it.
I know. I'm trying to chase it down in my mind too.
Cross country ski, you have a little, I don't know what kind of gun it is.
Would I be doing all the elements?
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
All the things.
Mhm.
Because you're so well rounded.
Oh wow,
Okay.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You take your yoga breathing into account to really slow your heart rate, get a
Mhm.
nice, accurate, precise shot.
That feels like a compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think?
Handball.
Crew is a good one too. Sorry, that just popped right in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I do think like handball, there's like agility too, but there's also a little bit of aggressiveness, and I can see that in your eyes a little bit. She kind of bites her lip every once in a while.
you would.
Your eyes.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
I was gonna say winter sport. Maybe like, do you snowboard? Do you ski?
I don't.
Really? Okay.
Do you like the cold?
I don't mind. Like we
Okay.
were talking about running. Running in the winter is cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the elements.
Literally is. yeah,
Literally.
Yeah.
I like that air you breathe and your lungs like hurt a little.
I like the elements.
I love
Much
that.
better
Like
than
the challenge.
I
Like,
love
it's raining
running.
hard.
Love it.
much better than the heat.
So good.
I've really
Josh.
done none of those things, but you know.
Josh, what sport would you
I'd be
do
open to it.
if you were an Olympian? What would you do? We won't guess for you. What would you do?
Okay. Probably the 400 meter.
Swimming?
Track.
Track.
Track,
Okay.
okay.
Sprinting.
All right.
Yeah.
Rye,
400, 200 relay.
what would you do if you were an Olympian? What sport would you do? Basketball.
I mean, that's like obviously my
Right, it's
favorite
obvi.
sport. I wouldn't say like that's my go-to or what I would want to do.
Right.
I don't know.
I would do curling, everyone.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
one.
I feel like you do it already.
I may. Let's see.
Pickleball.
All right, next
Pickleball.
question.
It's pickleball.
What was the last thing you Googled?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I'd have to check.
You don't remember? That's okay. You don't have to check right now because
No, well, we're
I don't
already
know if I
on
want to
it.
see it on your phone right next to you, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, directions.
Yeah.
Not
What
fun.
about you?
I think it was like a lemon pasta recipe.
Ooh.
Mm,
Maybe I
delightful.
should share it.
Yeah. Tag
I
it
have
below.
no
I
idea.
might need to check to see if I should be eating it.
Song lyrics.
Oh,
Actually, I
that's
didn't even
fun.
think I was looking at the lyrics. I was just looking at a song to add to the cycling class today.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's fun.
Are you guys looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forced my mom to come. So.
Yay.
That's good.
Mhm.
Another question that you just looked at and put it down into her lap.
This is a silly question, but one that's thought provoking.
I thought we didn't do silly.
No, we're straight serious. We just talked about farting in yoga classes
Yeah.
earlier.
Do you prefer to walk around? Would you prefer to walk around with broccoli for arms or a salad for a head?
Salad for a head,
Yeah, salad for a head. You can't do much with.
broccoli arms.
fingers.
Danielle?
But like, can you still talk? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess.
Salad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go broccoli arms
Alright.
because
Your hair?
lower, my hair, definitely my hair, but lower center of gravity would improve my handstand game
Sure.
Oh.
with
Okay.
broccoli arms.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's why.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This one would have been for Dan, but he's not here because I
Why
feel
is
like
it
it's
Dan
more
here?
his
He's on
vibe.
vacation. Yeah.
Can we have a
Um,
pod with Dan sometime?
Yeah, sure can.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can't
Good.
wait.
See you next
Yeah,
week.
You guys
No.
are invited
so I'll
next
save it
weekend.
for the next time for Dan because I
Okay.
feel like it's a Dan type question.
Well, you brought in, let's talk about nutrition now too. 'cause I
Yes,
think that's,
please.
No, it's not, just don't look at her, because I think everybody eats food.
I do. I love
Can
it.
we talk about the relationship with emotion and food? And where everybody, in some capacity, I think, struggles knowing what to eat, how much to eat, what to listen to, what advice to take. And I know we've all probably coached it, struggled with it ourselves, had personal experience, but let's add some value and talk about where do you think the biggest misconception with nutrition is nowadays? Danielle,
The-
it's your field.
Biggest misconception.
With food.
I mean, I still feel like there's so many people on like the keto train, even if they don't realize they're on the keto train, because it's gotten so creative that it's called different things. They're trying to. I feel like a lot of places are like trying to hide it because maybe keto is like not viewed as great now. But I still feel like everyone is trying like to be low carb and super high protein, super high fat, which is not great, especially if you are working out and an athlete.
Sure.
So.
You want it to be more
Yeah, I
balanced.
just think like
Yeah.
the trendy approaches.
Yeah.
You know.
Everything has to be like a hack.
Yeah, like just keep it simple.
Quick fix.
Like
21 pounds, 21 days.
concentrate on protein, hydration, calories in, calories out. It's never changed.
Yeah.
And probably somewhere along the way you had success and you remember that.
Yeah.
But you're still searching for
A quicker way.
the quick way, the
Yeah.
easy way.
Well, think about the internet. Think about if our phone doesn't download quick enough. What do? We get so impatient.
Mm-hmm.
We want instant oatmeal results, quick. We want the microwave approach. Minute done, rice is done. That's quick and
And I think
painless.
all that adds to it too, because
Yeah.
information is so available. So, you know, how valuable is it, you know?
And it's so confusing. It's
Yeah.
so confusing.
Right.
People get on there and they don't know what the heck they're looking for, and
And who's giving that info? Who are you?
Are they credible?
everyone thinks they're an expert.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. Everybody wants to put like their 2 cents in to kind of feel as if they're differentiating themselves, which kind of will drive more people to
Yeah.
them because they're like, oh, like, you know, Ryan, for example, he's heard everything, you know, A through Z as to what he should do with somebody who is a professional. But somebody on social media is just like a nutritionist, has a certification.
Has
they
a
try-
blue check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has a blue check.
Has some sort of qualifications, but they think going like in a separate way is gonna intrigue more people,
Yeah.
which gains them like more followers. So they start spewing what they've come to the conclusion to themselves versus like what might be the actual
Right.
Truth?
truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just
Information.
because you eat, just because you've lost weight,
Yeah.
does not mean that gives you the, you know,
Yeah.
The forum to spew
to do
that
that to other
information.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. And every single person is different. I think that's the biggest thing with
Yeah.
nutrition too.
Yeah.
Every single person is unique and different. So a huge red flag is just a program or a person that's saying like, here's my cookie cutter program or plan
Yeah.
for you, which
Yeah.
you know, that goes with training too, but especially nutrition.
Do you think people aren't patient enough? Do you
Yeah.
think
Absolutely.
they
Yes.
have the realization that I didn't gain 25 pounds in a
Right.
week? I should lose it in a week. You
Right.
know, I think nobody wants to play the long game. You know,
Yeah.
we don't want to see it, and I think like the big thing that I look at is like, what if it took you a while to gain the weight, you don't deserve for it to fall off in a short amount of time because you didn't learn about anything about yourself. And I think that's frustrating to be like, you didn't earn it, so you don't deserve it. You know, where you look at the person that's like, you know, I look at a guy like Chris Roop. Shout out to Chris Roop, who's on the show once, and you know, is down almost like 85 pounds, but super consistent. Shows up every single day. You know, goes through the emotional roller coaster of it all, but still shows up.
Right.
You know, I think you earn that success.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's patience, but also making sure that the expectations are realistic too.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of people are thinking about, their high school weight or their weight that they were 20, 30 years ago before they hit puberty and got hips and,
Sure.
developed. So I think that
Then we have the comparison issue where we're trying to compare ourselves to either other people or our former self.
social media
Yeah.
is,
For sure.
It's that whole self-love, just being appreciative of your body and
Yeah.
What it can do.
what it can do
Right?
at
Yeah.
whatever size.
What other questions do you guys have for each other, for us? Because we're gonna wrap this up in
Yeah,
about
we
a
gotta
minute
wrap
or
it
two.
up. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the girls' playlist for cycling.
What's your go-to song for one song that you always go to in a cycling class? Go. First one that comes to your head. Let's go.
song.
Boom.
I have one.
Go. What is it?
Ed Sheeran's Shivers.
Okay.
Usually a pumped up version. I
Okay.
just love that song.
Yeah.
mine, well, I can't think of the name of it, but it's Fallout Boy. Hold on, please
Okay.
hold.
Dawn.
Jump and Sweat.
Okay.
Ooh,
Never heard of it.
okay, so it's,
Yeah, I've
it's
never heard of it. Yeah, it's fun.
Back to Earth featuring Fallout Boy.
Okay.
It just has a,
Are we
That's
playing
your
it
jam.
today?
yeah.
Going for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, what's your go-to jam?
Go-to jam
Yeah.
is still probably my what would be walkout song. Lil Wayne, Mega Man.
Let's go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just something
Let's
to get you
walk
hyped.
out. Let's drop the mic. Let's do it.
We should come out from the curtains, turn the lights on, have like a big.
Yes.
I know.
Thanks.
So
Speaking of.
I've started to do something different, and the question that we had in the previous show, you guys are going to answer, and then you're going to leave the next guest with a question too. Okay, so behind the scenes, we'll establish your question. But the question from last week is, who are you when you are still? Who is Heather when nothing else is going on? Who is that person
Okay.
when you're at home by yourself or you're doing whatever? Who is that person?
Oh my goodness. Deep. When I'm still. I think
I was thinking about my answer, but I'm gonna keep it positive. And
reflective.
she
Okay,
Yeah, introspective, empathetic,
okay.
thinking about the day. Was I my best self? Yeah.
What's typically the answer? Oh,
It
see?
changes.
Yeah,
Life's a challenge.
sure is.
But ultimately, just doing my best with what I have in the day.
Cool.
But I do reflect on it.
I like that.
Danielle.
I mean, it's really hard for me to be still. I guess I'll start with that.
With her hands trapped under her.
Literally, no, I move so
Locked
fast.
it
That's
down.
probably why I ruptured my Achilles, because I do everything at 100 miles an hour. I walk too fast. I walk into things. I have bruises all over me. So it's really hard for me to be still. If I'm just home hanging out, no one's there, I'm cleaning, I'm organizing, I'm tidying. I like to do that for my mental health. That's where I feel the best, is when I'm actually doing something.
Sometimes stillness is movement.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
So,
To be present.
So yeah.
yes.
Dawn, little leprechaun.
So if I'm home alone,
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know about this.
oh my God, get your. Everyone's
Who is
so
Dawn?
dirty.
Who is Dawn when
Who
she
is
is
Dawn when
still?
she's home alone? She's
I didn't
either
say when she's home alone. I said when you're still.
when I'm still. What else?
Are you Macaulay Culkin?
Home alone still. I'm a little bit like Danielle. I like organizing and keeping things tidy and or I'm just sitting there watching TikToks, laughing, or looking for batteries. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking for batteries.
For the spin bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We gotta
That was
go.
a good one. We gotta go on that note.
Yeah.
Let's leave.
End the show. You do a
Thank
good
you
job.
guys for coming out.
Thanks
We
for
hope
having
that
us.
you guys get to meet them soon. They'll be hosting cycling classes, yoga classes, a mix of the two, so you can get the best of both worlds, as well as still having us on the side if you wanted.
Side piece.
Yeah, that's what we're turning into. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend.
Bye, everyone. Be safe. Make good choices.
Peace. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.